with a brand new stream and a brand new review. With me, as always, it is the number one MJF stan and probably the number one World Heavyweight Championship criticizer, Dylan of the Last Week in Wrestling podcast. Buddy, how's it going?
I can't get enough of these fucking intros that you do, dude. I literally one day I'm gonna make a compilation of them. Honestly, like it'll definitely be
I
a
was thinking of
video
doing
in
the same
itself.
thing, not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I love the intros, but no, absolutely, you're 100% correct. MJF stand to the hardest and criticizer, I guess. I like I said, I've sat with it now for about 12 hours or however long it's been since the reveal. And
Yeah, around 12 hours.
yeah, like I don't know. It looked ugly. Like I'll be honest. Like I'll quickly just start here. Like I didn't like it. I kind of thought it looked a little bit like the mesh of the current IC belt and the gold
The
belt, the
big
big
gold
gold,
belt.
merged together and had a baby. And like this is what it produced.
I could
And I was
understand
like,
that. Like the
I don't
like
know
the
about all
big
that.
WWE logo and the little
Yeah.
planet behind it. I mean,
Yeah. I don't know.
yeah,
I was like, okay. And then like throughout the day and watching the video back and like watching Triple H unveil it again, I've been like, it's starting to grow on me. Like I'm starting to enjoy the belt's design. And I think more or less it's because of what this belt is going to do for the company in the sense
yeah,
of we're gonna finally have people defending it more frequently, like Triple H said. And it's not going to just be like a one and done. We got to wait till Roman dies so that way we can fucking finally get a defense title for
oh fuck,
somebody else. And it's just like, something in that nature. But otherwise, yes, no, I didn't like it in the beginning, 100% right. But,
yeah.
I have ceased thought of that idea and I'm starting to enjoy the design a little bit better. But I'm more excited for who will be our new defending champions is more or less
Yes,
what I'm more excited for. But I think it's time to start the show off for sure.
definitely, definitely. We'll give our thoughts on the world heavyweight title, of course, when we get to the Triple H segment. If you guys are
Yes.
new here, we do things in order. We give our
Yes.
thoughts and we give everything. This is our Monday Night Raw review for April 24th, 2023. Of course, last night. This is the go home show, technically for the draft.
Yeah.
Um, So I'm
Very
very fucking
exciting.
excited for the
I'm,
draft.
I'm very excited. Are we still doing that thing Friday and then going forward
The
every?
watch along? Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It might
Okay.
not be every night we do the watch alongs, but definitely a
Hmm.
draft special. That's the reason why I want to do it because we'll react to the draft picks. Otherwise, I don't want to make 5 fucking short reaction videos reacting to every round of the draft. So it's like better
Right.
to just do a watch along. And it
Yeah.
can also
Totally.
actually also be better to do a watch along than a full on review unless we do 2 separate videos on that. Who knows?
We could do
But
them both. We could do like merge it into one, kind of
merge it
review
into
it as
one
each
definitely.
each like each match and each segment goes. Kind of talk about it.
Kinda talk about it and then do, like, a rating after the show, that way
Yeah.
we could have, like, the day after to really have a day off or do whatever the
Exactly.
fuck we want for each of
Yeah,
our
that'd be
channels.
I don't know what that is anymore right now. Like,
I don't know what days off are anymore either.
yeah, man.
How are you doing, guys? Neil, I'm actually doing very, very good, but before we get to the actual show, I think a lot of people will probably go onto this chat to talk about it. Before the show, obviously, one, Fragile Phil, CM Punk turned up
Oh,
backstage to
there it is.
Raw.
This son of
I
a
wa I want this
bitch.
shit out of the fucking way so that way I don't talk about it the whole goddamn show. CM
We
Punk pulls
yeah, go
up.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna summarize it, then you can give your thoughts. CM Punk turns up, like, I think it was, like, an hour or 2 before the show,
Yeah.
met up with Tamina Snuka, which it was revealed on video evidence is true.
Yep.
Um, he allegedly goes backstage, he makes amends with, Triple H and The Miz
Yeah.
until ultimately Vince McMahon, who apparently controlled the show remotely, was like, "Get this fucking guy out of here." So my man
Vinnie
goes
Mac.
back.
Yeah.
My man leaves, and it was reported, I think, late this afternoon that it wasn't because CM Punk wanted to go back into WWE. He only came back to visit. So I'm so
Yeah.
glad I didn't make a fucking clickbait video being like CM Punk to WWE confirmed. But
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
cool. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, we know it's not you know, anything of importance. Clearly, he's going to be going to AEW as of what we've been hearing, and of course, he's getting his own TV show, which is absolutely insane to me. That is what we've come to the realization that he can't work with others so much that we made his own fucking brand on AEW. So we'll see how that all pans out. But yeah, Fragile Phil out and about doing his thing, being all fragile out in public. It's always nice to see, I guess. Always great for clickbait. But yeah, nothing really. Honestly, I don't even really care, to be very frank. I was kind of like, cool. I guess it's nice to see him for the people that are enjoying CM Punk, but to
Yeah.
somebody like that doesn't like I like the guy, don't get me wrong. I respect the guy for what he's done in the wrestling business and stuff like that, but like as him as a person and everything is just, he is what he is what he is. But what's really funny that I read somewhere that he and Seth Rollins did pass each other a few times, and not once did either one of them speak to one another, which I thought Seth would say something. I thought maybe
Yeah.
Seth would be like, this guy again, or like start barfing or whatnot,
It's like, what the
Some,
fuck's this guy doing in
yeah,
here?
like, oh, great, here's the cancer, but no, nothing. But yeah, he apologized to the Miz. He kind of made amends with Hunter, which was interesting. And then there was
Yeah.
also this video circulating around. I don't know if you caught it yet. I know it was on TikTok, and I saw it. I think I liked it. I actually got to send it to the group chat. But it was Stone Cold on the Broken Skull podcast with Vince McMahon. I guess many moons ago, where he was like, "We're going to say yes or no to this question. Do you want to talk about CM Punk?" And Vince goes, "Look, the two things I want to say is that I think it's very shitty, and it was a coincidence that he got his termination papers on the day of his wedding, which was something we didn't really expect nor plan out, like many people assumed. And then the other thing was like, I hope one day we could work together again because he was somebody that I did enjoy being with, and whether you're upset with the company, and I'm not going to come out here and air out dirty laundry of the company on television or anything. It's just not the type of person I am. But I hope that we can make amends, and one day, he come back and work with us. But then hearing that he said, "Get him the hell out of here" on Monday, I think it's just beautiful. It's just
Yeah, it's just
total 360 of what you said, maybe like 8 years prior,
Vin
and
Vince
everything.
Vince
So
finally does something right. Get Fragile
yeah,
Phil out
right.
of the
Thank
fucking
God, get him
building.
out of
Thank
here.
God Vince did something right.
Sure.
But I mean, yeah, no, I mean, like you said, it was a very good point that excuse me, all these people that really think that CM Punk's going back to WWE, don't hold your fucking breath. I mean,
Yeah.
we're
Don't.
getting this collision show
Yep.
later
That's
this year
literally
on
his show,
Saturdays. He's
and
getting
it's
his
two
own
out.
show, 2 hours. It's
It's gonna
going
be
to be
2 hours on a Saturday, and I think it's gonna be 10 to 12. Who in
who
their
the
right
fuck's gonna
mind is gonna be
stay
up
up?
next to dads falling asleep with children? That's gonna be able to watch, and of course us, because we have no lives, I guess, and we have nothing else to do but make content. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, I don't know. I don't
And there's gonna be a
know what to do
brand
with that.
split. There's gonna be a
Yeah,
fucking
well, that's
draft
what this is.
because of him.
Yeah, but now we're not getting Elevation or Dark is getting canceled. So now it's going to be what it looks like as of now is Tuesdays,
Good.
Wednesdays,
I mean, no
Ring of
one watches
Honor,
that shit.
and then so Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. Still 5 days. It's still 5 days of content. Just for AEW alone. Let's say average, because I was listening to the Wrestling Junkies today. Um, let's say on average 8 hours. Eight
Fuck.
hours of actual, just pure AEW alone. That's not WWE. So between a
You got
40-hour
another
work week,
another 5
yeah,
hours of WWE.
yeah,
Um
5 hours of
plus
WWE.
plus whatever pay-per-view for whatever fucking promotions that week. Sometimes we
Yeah.
get 2 pay-per-views on the same weekend for both promotions. So
God,
it's
God,
like
tell me about
that's like 40-hour fucking weeks.
it. Yeah. Now I'm working
Well,
80.
not no,
I'm
actually
working
not
80. You know
40.
what
Not
I mean?
I mean, fuck me, man. Like I fucking gotta work, bro. But
I gotta
anyways,
work.
guys,
I gotta
that's our
sleep.
thoughts. Yeah, no, I need sleep. So that's our thoughts on the CM Punk situation. We're getting that out of the way.
Yeah.
Punk's not fucking going back to WWE. Let's
No,
fucking
not
be
coming
real.
back. Sorry, guys. Sorry to burst the
Never,
bubble.
ever, ever like CM
Back to
Punk's. I
AEW
mean, like
though.
Seth
Tony will
Rollins
take
said.
him.
Yeah, Tony will take him because he needs the fucking ratings. Even though he's been doing everything right now for like
His ratings are fine
God.
without him. Ratings are fine
Well,
without
it's
him.
like he can't crack 1 million, like everybody in the fucking IWC says. Who cares? But
Yeah. On
anyways,
with the
guys, let's
show.
get on with the show. Um, Cody Rhodes comes out, something Cody Rhodes, and then he's like, "Hey guys, last time I was here, I torn my fucking pec. I mean, I didn't care too much about this promo. Hey Brock, I'm gonna kick your ass. Brock wasn't fucking there.
Yeah.
And then Finn Balor comes out being like, "Hey Cody, we all have our scars." Finn offers
14
Cody to
staples.
Finn 14 staples on his fucking shirt offers Cody to join the Judgment Day, which anyone with 2 brain cells would know he won't. I mean, fuck, it's a
Like,
waste of
my
time.
God.
But yeah, and then Cody challenges Finn to a match, which
Right.
happens later on in the show. I mean, not much to really say about this promo. I mean, it didn't get me any more hyped for Cody and Brock at Backlash. And
No, not at all.
I mean, Cody and
No.
Finn, obviously these two have chemistry, but it's like, why should I give a fuck?
Yeah.
Right?
I cool. It's a good way to start the show off. Who doesn't love seeing something Cody Rhodes on their TV screen? I know I don't mind it. I love seeing Cody. But yeah, the promo I thought was a little bit weak. Clearly, they're trying to pitch a new direction for Cody after this whole Brock thing, which would be maybe his next hurdle or obstacle he'd have to jump, which would be the Judgment Day. He's now run it back with Finn twice, and I believe he's beaten Finn twice. So I
Yeah.
don't see them doing a three-peat, but it is the WWE, so anything is possible. Um, I don't. Of course, I don't see him going with the Judgment Day. That'd be the craziest fucking left turn of his
He'd
story.
have to dye his hair black again, like his feud
Yeah,
with Brody Lee.
yeah. I saw a bunch of people on Twitter showing that video of him his Judgment Day next day, where he's all dressed up and shit, he's all black and shit. I thought that was great, but yeah, I don't know. I think that as we get closer to Backlash being next week is Backlash, which is crazy to even say that. We got to get kind of pumped for these matches going forward, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel the same thing that you felt. Like, yay, cool. It was nice to see Cody, but like there was no point in having Finn come out of the Judgment Day to do that. I kind of would rather them continue with this whole Bloodline thing with Rhea and Solo. I know I've been
Yeah.
listening to some other podcasters and stuff, and they've mentioned the fact that a lot of them their fantasy booking, and I kind of agree with them, is Solo and Rhea having a one-off type of match. And I mean, hell, if China can do it with the IC belt, I don't see why not with Solo and Rhea. I think that, and now I'm taking this from Wrestling Junkies because I was listening to them today. But as Eric was saying over there, that he was going on about how Solo kind of brought the fire to the Bloodline after everything that was happening, because it started feeling a little bit like it was dying off with some of the promos and everything for what was happening with Roman and everybody else in between. And then, of course, Rhea kind of revived the Judgment Day, and I think kind of took over and took charge, because that's what many people are watching it for. And I kind of agree to that point, because with the Judgment Day being only 3 people, Dominic at that time wasn't the strongest, really wasn't the most exciting to watch, besides Finn and Damian kind of doing their own thing, ex champions and all. Dominic kind of was bringing them down, but now with Rhea there and then elevating Dom, elevating them to this new stature, now holding gold as a team per se, with Rhea holding the SmackDown Women's Championship. I think that is something that I could definitely see continuing on with them in the Bloodline. And yeah, but long term booking would be good for this. I think. Honestly, I think the Bloodline, the Judgment Day feud or faction would be something interesting to see how it plays out leading into even SummerSlam if that is something they want to have on the table as an option. I just don't think
Yeah.
that they need to. I don't think the Judgment Day need to find anybody, but I do think that they believe that with this draft that Rhea is going to SmackDown, that there's a possibility that Judgment Day are splitting. And if that is the case, let's say Finn and Damian stay on Raw, they might need that third person to kind of keep them going. And if it's not someone like Cody, who could fill that type of spot that brings in the eyes of like Rhea, how she's brought in a lot of new people, following Judgment Day. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens with that, but I don't think Cody was the choice. I don't think Cody's the answer for that. I think Cody has his own story to tell. He's been telling it since the Rumble, and it seems like it's now never ending. So hopefully we get some type of closure there with that. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, um, I don't really see Cody joining Judgment Day. No, no, not at all.
No, obviously we would never
Yeah.
see Cody joining the Judgment Day, but I don't know, like, I want Finn to sorta, like, break out on his own, like I said in my video earlier, I want Finn to at least be in the finals of the WWE World
Yeah.
Heavyweight Championship, whether they do a tournament or whether they do a one-on-one match with him and, let's say, Seth.
Hmm.
Um, I think Finn breaking out on his own once again would be great,
Right.
but, I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I think one thing I need, whether the Judgment Day stay together or whether they split, is I need this fucking feud with the LWO to end. Like with
Yeah,
Ray and
I
Dom and all these
don't
people.
like it either. I thought I would. Like at points it felt cool. Like the six-man tag was good with the bloodline and them. I thought it went well and everything. I know we'll talk about that later, but I thought that was
Well, I mean, it
a
happened
good.
after this segment.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. So that's kind of perfectly leads into it then. But yeah, I mean, I thought that, that match was good for what it was. I do see the Bloodline and maybe LWO having another one later down the road. But again,
Yeah.
going back to the whole Finn and Cody thing, not for nothing, Finn kind of got screwed too out of the Roman Reigns title opportunity at Extreme Rules, kind of like how Cody got screwed and at WrestleMania, and that's what um, you know Finn mentioned. When he was walking to the ring, he was like, "We both have been screwed by the bloodline. Not for nothing. We're both in the same boat in a way." I mean, of course, this was his pitch to drive him into the Judgment Day family, but at the same time, he is making a solid point. Cody being screwed out of the championship, Finn being screwed out of the championship, it does play into factor of what is going to happen down the road now with this new belt. I do see Finn as a definitely a finalist in this World Heavyweight Championship tournament we're getting, or whatever may be happening with all of this. But of course, Seth, I would love, and we'll talk about more of that in a little bit. But um, yeah, I don't know. I just think that it'd be really weird for them to be like, "Oh, Cody, you're gonna join the Judgment Day now, and that's how you're gonna beat Roman." And it's like, but then what happens? Like, if that is the case, what happens? Now you have two champions with Finn and Damian not doing anything. Dominic's not doing anything. So you're just gonna have three guys as what, the bodyguards and the
Pretty
people that
much.
just bring in the people, the actual talent, and then what? You flush the other ones out and make a brand new Judgment Day. It's like that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem like a good idea if that was the case. But again, it is the WWE. We never know what is possible. Vince is kind of there and whatnot, virtually
Vince is
or in
changing the show
person.
all the time.
Exactly. So until that kind of stops or whatnot, we have to see what happens. But I thought the six-man tag was good.
Yeah,
LWO put on a good feud ish, or at least a good match. I would say. I won't even call it a feud, but
a feud.
yeah, I would definitely call it a good match. LWO looked very very strong in there. Of course, I like to see what it's going to be against Finn and Dom and who else, because now it's Damien has have his his singles match with Bad
With
Bunny.
Bad Bunny, which I think is stupid,
So
which we'll get to later. I mean, fuck.
yeah, but
I
yeah, I don't
mean,
know who the third is going to be unless it's just going to be 2 and 2, like Ray and Santos versus Dom and Finn, which is
I
fine.
wouldn't be
That's
surprised
cool.
unless we don't get a Ray and Dom match, or we just get a Ray and Dom like one-on-one again. I wouldn't be
But I don't think it'd be
surprised.
worthy of a backlash. I know like
Mm,
Backlash is the
yeah,
the pay-per-view to redo matches that didn't happen or didn't end well in WrestleMania, but if we're going to
yeah.
do another Dom and Ray match, give me SummerSlam. I know it's a little while away, but really it's not that far. And with everything that could lead up to that match with LWO and the Judgment Day, I feel like we have enough to write for the next 2, 3, let's say months to get through that that little overhaul and then finally get into SummerSlam. Because I mean
My
the
big
build
problem with it is like, is Ray and Dom have been feuding for, let's say, like, since fucking September. Let's be real here.
yes.
I'm like I said, like, I'm sick of the Judgment Day and the LWO, and honestly, this might be an L take. I'm sick of Ray and Dom feuding. Like,
I'm not sick
I
of it
honestly
yet.
wanted this to end. I'm honestly kinda sick of it. I mean, it's been going on forever. I mean, I
It
don't
has been. That is
it's
no, that's 100%
and it's
true. It has
dragging. It's
been.
getting stale.
I don't. Yeah, you're right. You're right to an extent. I feel like I don't want to say your opinion's wrong because it's your opinion and everyone's opinion's different. But I don't think it's stale just yet. But I think if we keep on going with the direction we're going with, it could get stale very quicker. It could get stale a lot quicker, I should say. Because then, yeah, the matches that we would like to see again, like Ray and Dom, like we were saying from WrestleMania Night One, which we wanted to see again. We were like, oh wow, that was a great match, and like I would love to see Ray and Dom do one more time and make it a bigger thing. Maybe then Dom becomes babyface, et cetera, and all the
Yeah.
hypotheticals we had at that time for the WrestleMania review. But now going on to what we are getting with the LWO and Ray and Judgment Day and this, that, and the third, and everyone in the back. It does feel like that is something that is coming with the staleness, the not so fresh take on what this feud could really do for Dom's career. Because if we think about it, I know we've been going on a tangent about it, but if we think about it for a quick sec, Ray and Dom's future, or really what they've had together, has really made Dominic the superstar that he's becoming. He's been a tag team champion with his father. He's the first one to do that with his dad in professional wrestling. He's, come a long way from him being this not so talented in the ring, not graceful type of athlete to now this like interesting heel character that like no one even lets him talk. I mean, he
Yeah.
goes out there and the crowd is telling him to go fuck himself. Like he's not allowed to speak. He don't even need people to write for him anymore. He just needs to have the microphone and the crowd will speak for him. Like literally, he's become that over as a heel that it's become exciting for us fans who were not so sure about him and more worried about him going to like or wanted him more or less to go to NXT to really develop, make a character for himself, and then come back to Raw or SmackDown's main card. But now where we're at currently, I feel like with that Ray and Dom feud, it's only kind of projected him to further his actual stardom. So I'd
Yeah.
like to see this rematch happen for sure one more time, but I think then that's that after if
After
we're
that,
gonna
it
have
finish
this.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, because like if we're going like I mean I don't mind a three-peat, but at the same time it's like if it's a three-peat, then the last match is when Dom turns babyface and it's Ray's retirement. Because if
And it's Dom
SummerSlam, let's say,
apologizing and all that. Yeah.
yeah, like if SummerSlam is the match where it's just Dom has a win, Ray has a win, now they're even, but now we're not going to talk about it anymore. We're going to let all the other pay per views come and go. We're going to let Rumble come and go at Elimination Chamber leading into WrestleMania 40. We're going to talk about it one more time. But all of this time has passed. Dom has kind of evolved into being his own superstar now. He's had a better singles career. He's actually been maybe even had a chance to chase for gold. Maybe he's been in a tag team match title opportunity with the Judgment Day. Maybe the Judgment Day are now falling out of touch with him. Maybe he's becoming the outcast, having him kind of start doing that baby face turn that we're kind of
Yeah.
hoping happens again with him. But then at WrestleMania 40, if Ray's like, okay, I'm done now with wrestling, let Dom be the one to retire his father. It's only set. It's only fitting. Let Ray take his mask off or leave his boots in the ring, walk out to the standing ovation. That's that. But at that point, then that has to be the last match because if we continuously have Ray and Dom, Ray and Dom, Ray and Dom, Ray and Dom, then we're gonna get LWO and Judgment Day, LWO and Judgment Day, which at the
Yeah.
moment is very stale. And
It's getting fucking stale
yeah,
real quick.
and
Fuck.
it's becoming
Like
that like,
every
ugh,
show.
great. Yeah, exactly. No, I
And
agree. I
most of
agree.
the
I
and
do
most of
agree.
the thing, yeah, most of what's worth criticism too is like thankfully the draft is coming sooner rather than later. Is that this feud has been on both shows. And same with the Riddle and Bloodline thing is like I'm sick of that because it's on Raw and it's on SmackDown. And it's like
Right,
because I started watching wrestling on the era where you have different storylines and different shows,
right,
brand split don't mean nothing no more.
right,
Hopefully Friday and Monday can mean that now finally, if you want to watch this storyline, watch Raw. Otherwise, miss it. If you want to watch this storyline, tune in to SmackDown. It's not like
right.
hey, if you miss this, it doesn't really mean anything because it's not going to really continue until the pay-per-view. It's not going to really mean anything till the pay-per-view. So I don't know. But more onto the six-man tag. There was a Bloodline versus LWO.
Hmm.
Yeah, like you said, the LWO had a decent showing, but in the end, I liked this spot. I think it was Cruz del
Solo.
Toro who was on the top. Yeah, no, Cruz
Yeah.
del Toro was on the top rope. Solo hit like a massive Samoan spike. Oh, it fucking looked like it
Yeah,
hurt.
that
And
was. I was
then
like, oh, that
the
wasn't actually. I put my phone down for a second. I was like, oh wow, that was actually an interesting sput there. Interesting. All
yeah,
right.
I clenched my chest, being like, "Oh fuck, I need to check if I'm breathing there." And
Yeah.
then, of
Right.
course, Usos hit the discount 3D 1, 2, 3 for the win. I think it was pretty obvious that the Bloodline was
Yeah.
winning this, but I mean, it wasn't bad. Better than seeing
Right.
LWO versus Judgment Day, but
Yeah.
again, it's like fuck. I can't wait for the draft. I'm seeing the same people on fucking this different shows. Like that's
Yeah.
my
No.
main criticism. But the
No,
match
and
was
I
still
agree with
good either
that.
way.
And I think that that's something that Triple H has finally taken into consideration. I think I mean I know the chat's kind of given it seems like giving Kevin a little bit of a hard time with the whole booking decisions and stuff like that as I side read the chat on my one eye and while staring at you and talking to you with my other one. But to Kevin's point, to defend Kevin a little bit here, because we all love each other here, guys. We gotta be very nice to each other to an extent. I get it. It's a very interesting chat that we have here, very interesting community. But at the same time, we still gotta play nice with one another. But to Kevin's point, in a way, it is somewhat Vince's fault for some of his changes that has happened. Because if I have someone who gave me, or let's say, let me the power to be creative, and then 6 months later come back and be like, "Yeet, it's not yours anymore, haha," and starts changing things last minute after I've worked so hard on creating what I wanted to get through to people and wanted
Yeah.
to have, then it's a lot harder to make those booking decisions. And then to Andre's point, yeah, Triple H may have some very creative team of writers, but again, if you have someone like Vince in your ear, kind of changing things last minute, then it becomes a little bit of a harder situation for Triple H to just be like, well, we're going to do it my way. Now,
Yeah.
mind you, Triple H has put his foot down certainly as of recently since the Raw after Mania. We've seen the show start picking up again a little bit here and there, which
Endeavor
has been
has
a
done that
good.
too. Endeavor has done
Exactly.
that
Yeah,
too.
and Endeavor
I
has
mean,
as well.
remember on after the Raw after WrestleMania, they said on SmackDown they were like, "Hey man, Vince needs to be involved less and less. He can do this, he could do that, but I mean, at the end of the day, Hunter should run the fucking show."
Exactly. And that's what I think is slowly getting into Vince's head, or at least he's starting to become comfortable with, I guess. But he never will. It's his baby. So I get it. But at the same time, he has to realize he's out of touch. He's not the same Vince McMahon he was in the 90s to the early 2000s, giving us amazing storytelling, superstars of a generation, and title runs that we'll never forget. It's a different time now. It's a different era. It's a whole different type of ball game. But to Andre's point, you know, it's more or less like, yeah, they might have a lot of great writers and everything that help out with the creative decisions for a lot of these superstars and stuff. But at the same time, we have to realize that if Triple H is still being blindsided, let's say, to last minute decisions from Vince McMahon remotely or right there in person, it becomes a lot harder to make those definitive decisions that you've already made in the day of or the days prior for the shows to come. So it's a 50-50 type of blame I think I would put on both men, in all honesty, really the company in general. But it does seem like it's going to be changing to the better because of the Endeavor agreement that we've had, which is seeming to be a lot smoother running than what I thought it was going to be. But with Triple H now being in charge, it does feel like we're going to have that brand split matter again. To your point, Willie,
Hopefully.
like he said, Roman, wherever he's drafted, he's staying there. So now I think we're going to finally get Raw stories and SmackDown stories. So if you're
Yes.
interested in Raw and you like the stories in Raw, you'll always tune in Monday. Same with SmackDown. If you're interested in SmackDown and you like what's happening on SmackDown, you'll tune into SmackDown. And of course, if you love both, then you'll be there every Monday and Friday, like we will. But
Oh yeah.
hopefully, like to Willie's point, we get back to what we know best. And I feel like now with the belt, the new draft that's coming, all of those things is more or less something to look forward to. It makes me feel at least a little bit better to sleep at night knowing that now
Yeah.
with this brand split pretty much that maybe some of these changes that Vince has made will start to be reversed, like finally getting a champion that we can see every week, like Triple H said, that champion that'll
About
actually
time.
defend the belt. I mean, to Triple H's point, yeah, Roman put out a very good contract. Not for nothing. He made it to where he could do it whatever the fuck he feels. And it's like, that's cool and all. But at the same time, it's like everyone's kind of gotten tired of you coming and you beating everybody. I mean, who's next? Chuck Norris? Jesus? The Avengers? And you're gonna
Yeah,
beat them
fuck.
too. So it's just like
Thanos.
there is no
Yeah.
point. There's no point to you coming
It's almost
anywhere,
like, yeah,
anymore.
everyone's getting super sick of Roman, but before we get into that,
Yeah.
because that's the segment after this,
Yeah.
um, this was one of the matches that was changed last minute because Sean Ross Sapp, obviously he has his Raw plans, and then of course the
Right.
plans change. Like Sean said, it makes the wrestling reporters look bad because then people are gonna be like, well, fuck, I don't trust Sean Ross Sapp no more. One of these Vince changes, he had the Street Profits versus Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Remember those fucking guys?
Yes, I do.
This this match was very quick. I guess it was just to
Huge.
showcase the Street Profits because like they said on commentary like 50,000 times during this match, this could be the last time we see the Street Profits as a
It
tag
will be.
team. I think it will be too, but
I
I
will be. I
mean,
think that was our hint. I think that was our
That
hint.
I mean, Corey not shutting the fuck up about it has kinda made me think, like, maybe this isn't the last time, but I hope it is. I mean, I think we've said,
Yeah.
like 1,000 times, Montez has everything it takes. Same with Angelo. Both men
Yeah.
have everything it takes to be, at
Superstars.
least mid-card guys. At least
Yeah.
mid-carders. Solo, I mean, you can have Angelo be, like, a lower mid-carder and have Montez go for, like, the US title scene or something like that. I think
Yeah.
both guys could excel on their own. Like, let's say you have Montez stay on Raw and Angelo go to SmackDown, or maybe vice versa. I think both men
Right.
need it.
And I don't even think nowadays the mid card is something to even scoff at. I mean, look at what
No.
Gunther has done for the IC belt, a belt that once mattered a lot to many superstars and was their starting point to gaining the United States, to then gaining a shot at the champion, to then gaining a shot at the world heavyweight. championship belt back in the day. Now it's becoming more or less that type of significance back to the belt because of what Gunther has done for the belt in the sense of its longevity with it, and now in the running to beat the Honky Tonk Man's record.
Yeah.
And the same goes for the United States. I mean, whether you like the guy or not, I do enjoy Austin a lot more as this heel than I have with him with the iPhone and the
The
selfie
fucking
game.
selfies, yeah, because now he's more
Yeah,
of a cocky heel that we're really used to, but he can actually fight
yeah,
and he's not a fucking pussy, like, he's
exactly.
there
And I'm I'm
fighting
I'm
people.
enjoying, yeah, and I'm excited. I'm enjoying his run. Now, mind you, again, we have to be honest here. They, he hasn't really won a lot of those defenses clean. Let's just be very frank here. Brock interrupted one, Bobby
Yeah.
interrupted another. Logan
Low
helped him
blow to
beat Seth.
Cena.
Yeah, low blow to him. This to that to the third. It's like, yeah, he's won. Yeah, he's put up a decent fight. Yeah, he's a lot better on the mic and promo wise and all of that. He's a lot more exciting to watch. He's your United States champion, but he also hasn't truly won a defense match for the belt cleanly. I mean, yes, he did
Yes.
beat John Cena, so I guess you could say he's done it once, maybe twice. I'm probably missing another one, but at the same time, the other ones that also mattered against the bigger guys like a Brock or a Bobby, who now he has to face at Backlash with, of course,
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed, which is
Fuck.
just that's one match I'm actually
Big meaty
starting to
men slapping
be.
meat.
Yeah, they're gonna be making a sandwich out of that boy.
God.
Like I'm genuinely excited to see that Arby's matchup that we got there. I tell you that. But yeah,
I
man.
like what you did
I
there.
Thank you. I'm excited to see what that comes. But again, Montez having that opportunity to be our United States champion, I think, is a great idea. And I think even Angelo has the upcomings of IC champion. I know I'm probably the crazy one to even think that, but or you could reverse them. Like I think either man could definitely hold his own and start having that singles
Yeah.
push that we want out of a lot of our up and coming
Or you
superstars.
could
Look at
have
LA
Angelo
Knights.
be put in another tag team. Like, Angelo, I
Oh,
know
I don't
people are
know
going to
about
hate me for
that.
this. I know people are going to hate me about this, but I think Angelo can bring more entertainment to Hit Row. Have
Oh,
Angelo be the
okay.
new
Well,
Swerve.
maybe, yeah, maybe him
That
and my
would
boy
work a
AJ
lot
could,
better.
yeah, maybe him and
If
my
you
boy
have
Top
nothing
Dollar
to
could
book
work out.
Angelo for, if you have nothing to
Yeah,
book Angelo for as a singles run, put him on Hit Row, have him be the new leader, and have
yeah.
Angelo give them advice being like, "Hey, buddy, this is
Yeah,
how you
he could
fucking
maybe
actually
maybe he could teach
matter."
my boy, maybe he could teach my boy Top Dollar how to get off of the over that top rope.
Yeah, because
Finally,
Angelo's a bigger boy and he's able to do it.
Yeah,
Like, fuck.
yeah,
Like, that's
exactly. I don't know what's the problem there, Top. What's the problem, AJ?
God damn
Yes,
it, Top
listen.
Dollar.
Yeah, right. But anyway, no, I think that
Yeah, I'll take. There you go. I'm
yeah,
finally getting my
hey
L.
man, yeah, well, at least you got your L today. I'm figured my show
Finally.
is my L's coming up soon. But no, I think that Angelo definitely could become a superstar for sure and have a great singles run by himself. I don't think that it's something that is unfathomable. I think it's something that we definitely can see. You got to give him just a little time to cook. And now that he possibly might be alone going forward, without Montez. Yeah, that is a possibility. I don't know about throwing him though in a tag team right after coming out of a great tag team with Montez. Yeah, it would be great to see him maybe in Hit Row. Maybe we'll boost Hit Row, and I might even enjoy watching Shit Row. Sorry, a lot
Shit,
every week.
bro.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's just like Angelo could be by himself, and I think Montez has the
Mhm.
wherewithal to really
Montez will definitely
run.
be by himself.
Yeah, and I definitely think he has a good chance of being a champion of some sort, even if he does become the United States champion first, and maybe Montez goes right for the heavyweight. Maybe he and like LA Knight and like Chad Gable and
Yeah.
Shinsuke and Seth, like all the men that we would like to see as world heavyweight champion, the new world heavyweight champion belt. I think maybe Montez goes right for that instead, and maybe Angelo is our United States champion, which honestly I think that also works out for him in a better chance because I know that
That'd
there's
be
been
cool.
talks that um, Ilya Dragunov, I think I'm pronouncing his name right,
No, you pronounced it right, I think.
has been pitched to SmackDown, and hell, if
Yes.
that's true and he does, uh, him and Gunther go for that IC belt. Now that's a match I need to see ASAP. All right, I need to
That'd be
see that
fucking
shit
great.
right away. Yeah, for sure. But no, I think Montez is definitely gonna be running for that belt. Like Seth will be, and of course LA Knight, we won, and of course Gable. I think Gable right now is going to be getting a big push, especially if Otis and the Maximum Male models do take him away with a forklift or however they're going to grab him. But yeah, so I think that Chad would be great. There's a whole lot of people we're going to get to when we talk about that belt that I want to see, and I have a bunch of reasons why. Carrion,
Yeah.
I also think would be a very interesting world heavyweight champion down the road.
Mm.
But I think that's where
Yeah,
I'm gonna take my L tonight. But
yeah.
that's where I take my L tonight. But yes, no, it's definitely something I'm very excited for. So
Yeah, no, definitely. And speaking of Triple H with a big announcement,
big
aka Tony
announcement.
Khan, big announcement. He comes to the ring. Obviously, there was a belt in there, and Triple H was like, he took a lot of shots at fucking Roman. He was like, yeah, no, Roman hasn't been defending quite a bit. He's not fucking showing up. He has a contract that says, hey, I'm not going to show up a lot. And so because of that, Roman's gonna go and get drafted, and probably gonna be SmackDown. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
Because
me too.
I, as much as people think I kiss JD's ass, he has a good point on. Fox isn't gonna get rid of Roman Reigns.
No, are you kidding me? You
Fox
out of
won't
your
get rid of Roman Reigns.
mind? They would rather lose $1 billion before they get rid of fucking Roman Reigns.
But yeah. So Triple H is like, hey, no matter where Roman is, he's gonna take both Universal and WWE belts with him, which means we need a world title for, let's say, Raw, um,
Right.
which means we're going to get the modified World Heavyweight Championship, and that title looks fucking amazing. Like I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Yeah, like I said, I'm starting to enjoy the design a little
I've
bit.
seen people like absolutely shit on the design, like, and it's
Yeah,
like it's better than like a black version of the WWE Championship or like a purple
you're right.
version.
You
I
are
mean,
right.
like, God, how many variations of the WWE title have we had in the past, like, 6 years? Like, a ton.
I'm gonna have to use my toes to count. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
It
Yeah,
looks absolutely beautiful, man.
yeah, no, it's pretty. I'll say that. I'm gonna give it that. All right, you can't get any more out of me. I think it's pretty. I think it's a pretty belt. It's like I said before to you before we started
So
the
pretty,
show.
I put it as the thumbnail instead of the raw background.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I love it. But it's like if the IC belt and the big gold had a baby, and this is what they spewed out. That's exactly what it looks like to me. So,
I
but
love it. I would date it. I would sleep with it. God fucking damn.
oh man, Kev, man, down bad. I see you down bad.
God
Um,
damn. But,
I again, I think that this is something we definitely needed. We desperately needed a champion of some sort that is willing to come out on a weekly or nightly basis to defend and really promote the WWE brand to the next level. That unfortunately Roman hasn't really done as of lately. He has in the past, but as of lately, with years going on, with winning every single match, he's literally the male version of Jade Cargill at this point, in the sense of defense wins and title chances. But yeah, I think that no, I think this was a very smart move for Triple H. It's something that we've all been talking about for a few weeks now, with the whole Gold coming back, even with Cody and everything. So but my thing is, I want to. Well, who are we going to have? What is it going to be? Who
yeah.
are we going to be? And if it does stay on Raw, which it sounds like it is, and Roman will probably go to SmackDown, which would be the smartest thing for them to do. Does the Universal Championship belt become one belt? Is my next question. Are we going to really have
I think,
a tag team?
very likely it will be because it's like, what are we gonna do with 3 world titles? They're gonna
What
have
are
to
we going to
merge
do
it
with
into
seven
one.
belts? Yeah. Not honestly,
Yeah,
between the
like
2 tag team belts for Raw and SmackDown, the women's tag, right? So that's 2, 3. Then we have the World Heavyweight, the Universal, the Champion, the IC, and the United States. They have 9 belts. They literally have
mhm.
2 more than fucking, Tony Khan until Collision comes, and then Tony adds, like, 6 more. So, for for right now,
Yeah, no, that's gonna
Triple
be
H is
fucking
winning the belt
crazy.
game, and, how many more are we really gonna get? But I think it'd be smart, exactly, Willie, like you said. I think that them cutting it down to one belt that is the Universal Championship belt on SmackDown. Keep it blue strapped, cool, great, whatever. Keep it with the big W thing in the middle, fantastic. That's the belt that Cody wants anyway. Perfect. Bring him over to SmackDown, and then we
Yeah, get
have
rid of the Universal and just have him be the WWE champion,
right,
or
and
call
that's
it
the
the
belt that he
Undisputed
wants.
Championship again. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's the one that he wants. That was the whole point of the match between him and Roman at WrestleMania. He wanted to, he wants the belt that his father never got, and he wants to be able to go to the statue and the NXT Performance Center and put it on his father's statue and say, "He did it. I won. I did it for you, Dad." Have that moment, finish that story, and then be able to be the new leader of the locker room. Let Roman do his vacation, which he definitely, definitely deserves, and let Cody kind of run the show and be the new catalyst for the Universal Champion or Undisputed, whatever we're gonna fucking call it at this point, belt, and have new members, new title holders, new runs, new
yes.
defenses, bigger and better matches, bigger stories, better stories that are more investing into SmackDown as a brand, building SmackDown brand back up again to where it once was. Like Raw has been. Raw has been at the top of the game between the two shows for many, many years, even before SmackDown, of course, was even created back in '99. So this is a perfect time for them to now elevate themselves to get the SmackDown and Raw brand literally
Yes.
battling with one another for your attention. But that's something that we would like as fans. Now we have great performers like Seth and Chad and Montez and LA Knight and
Finn,
Shinsuke, Finn, fucking, I'm not going to say, Karrion Cross would be one of my choices, yes, as someone to
he'd be
maybe down the
decent.
road. He'd be decent. I don't think it's a long reign. I don't think it's, maybe it's a Liv Morgan run. They'll give him for one pay per view, and then, after that, all right, get your ass back in line.
He'll
But
hold the
that's
belt, and
it.
then whoever's Money in the Bank cashes in. LA Knight. There you go. LA Knight cashes in
Yeah,
on Cross.
exactly. But like these are the things that we get to see now. These are the new opportunities now that we get to see with this belt. So I think that itself is a big statement that Triple H has done for us, and I have to give him kudos for that because this is something that I think he wanted, and he's stated it multiple times already from multiple different sources and stuff that this was a bad choice from Vince making it 2 belts and having him go on whatever fucking show he wanted to, however he wanted to, whenever he wanted to, and never really defending it. And
Yeah, and
now
bring
he
it
has,
part-time.
yeah, and now he has a champion for Raw and a champion for SmackDown. And then we have a tag team that can go on both shows. I don't really care about that. Honestly,
Unless
that
they
kind of
have
makes it
Kevin and Sammy or the Usos vacate one of the belts that they're not drafted to keep the Raw and SmackDown tag divisions, but I don't know, there's not really a lot of tag teams, especially if Alpha
well,
Academy and the
that's
Street Profits are breaking up, should keep it a
right.
one tag belt.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is like I want to hear from you. Like, do you think it'd be better off if they just did one tag and just have um them be able to go on both shows as that, where it's like
Well,
it's on Raw for a
because
while or it's on SmackDown for a while, or does that then
I don't
interfere with
know
the whole brand split?
because I don't know because, like, the women's tag belts are kind of that where it's like you can go on both shows and defend, whenever. That's always how the main roster women's tag belts was. So with the men's tag, used to there only being one title when there's a brand split, of course, always known Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Right.
But I mean, I wouldn't complain, especially if we do get a couple of tag teams split up during this draft. I think it would be way better, especially if maybe it is the Usos again. You bring the titles back on the Usos, as unfortunate as that sounds, because you're gonna need every title on the line at Night of Champions. There you
Yeah.
go. You have one tag team belt that the
On
Usos
the
can win
line.
on Friday, and then
Right.
there you go. Because Sammy and Kevin can't do it. Let's say
Right.
the Usos are Raw tag, and Sammy and Kevin are SmackDown tag. That means that's one title that's not on the line. That's the whole premise of
Night of Champions.
Night of Champions. So I mean, like I wouldn't mind it. Have one men's tag, have one women's tag, and as long as it's not like the same shit on different shows, I really don't care. So I mean, it really depends mainly. And then of course, if the tag team champions lose the belts, then that means you lose your privileges to go on different shows. Then that means you stay wherever the fuck you were drafted. So
Well,
I
let me
yeah,
ask you this then, to that point then. Would you rather, if let's say, because with whole Kevin and Sammy, personal and religious reasons why they're not going to Saudi Arabia, let's say they were like, if let's say they were drafted to SmackDown and they
yes.
were able to keep the SmackDown belts and the Raw tag team belts were up for decision. Why, if we were to build a tournament of the two best tag teams in like a ladder match type of stipulation at Night of Champions for the Raw tag team belts. Let's say it's the Usos and I don't know, Judgment Day or LWO, or I don't know, some other fucking tag team we kind of put together almost in a way, or at least a decent tag team that we would genuinely like to see. If is that something you would want to see? Then them just be like, okay, Friday before the Dubai show, Usos win the Raw one, Sammy and Kevin keep the SmackDown. Great, cool. Then we have the one champion match of whoever we decided to have as the tag team opponents from, let's say, Raw, and like that's how they do it instead. Or would you rather have it have a little bit more of a let's see who's the better tag team and the person to now lead the Raw or the SmackDown tag team to the next level of a ladder match type of stipulation, a tournament going into Night of Champions to then a ladder match type of stipulation.
I mean, like Ring of Honor did this pretty decent where you have a vacant
Yeah, the reach for
belt
the
and
sky.
then the reach for the sky. I mean, if you do something like that, I mean, it would definitely benefit. Like the Raw tag titles, like let's say again, Sammy and Kevin get drafted to SmackDown, the Raw titles get vacated. Let's say Usos win the SmackDown belts before Saudi Arabia. So if you have a vacant Raw tag team title, I mean, do what Ring of Honor did. Pick like 4 of your Raw teams, and if you don't have 4, just pick the only 2 you fucking have, and then see who's the better tag team from that.
Usos
Uh,
and Judgment Day. All right, great. Like
Judgment
that's
Day and LWO number 5072. There you go. This time for the
it.
tag belts. It's like I don't know, but back on the topic of the world heavyweight belt. I mean, yes, the new champion's going to be crowned at Night of Champions. What I would do for that belt at Night of Champions is I said this in my video earlier. Do a 8-man tournament. I think
Yeah,
with the time between Backlash and Night of Champions, that's plenty enough time to do an
3
8-man
weeks.
tournament. Yeah, like do one round on one show, do the semifinal. Well, no, actually, do 2 matches from the first round on one show, 2 matches from the first round on the other show, semifinals on the go home show, let's say, and then the finals on the pay per view
Yep,
and see who wins. Now, I have 3 names, my top 3 names on who I think should win the world heavyweight title.
I'll
Of
give
course,
you
Cody
mine
Rhodes
too.
is not
Yeah,
on this list. Cody Rhodes is not on this list because, like you said, um, Cody should dethrone Roman. So I'm going to say Cody dethrones Roman. My 3 other names would be Seth Rollins, which I see a lot of people saying Seth Rollins should
yeah,
be the
Seth for
inaugural
sure.
champion. If not Seth, Finn Balor, especially since there were reports that Triple H is going to give Finn a massive push. And
Nice.
then number 3, LA Knight. Yeah, those are
Yeah,
my top 3.
I would say Finn wouldn't be on mine. LA Knight and Chad. Seth's for sure number one
Chad,
decision. Yeah, Seth for sure number one decision. 100%. I don't think there's even a question about that being my number one. Seth is deserving it, needs it. I think he could do great numbers and great title defenses with that belt on Raw, hands down. LA Knight for sure. I mean, he's literally the spitting image, the walk, the talk, the whole thing of a champion. And I think the push that's coming for him, hopefully soon, is something to lead him into that championship type of match. Um, Chad definitely, I think, is there. I mean, of course, Shinsuke would be my other option, But otherwise, I think Chad would probably be my third pick. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chad. I think Chad at
Hmm.
this stage of the game has proven himself to be the new generation of Kurt Angle. I think he is probably one of the most gifted and talented athletes that WWE has seen in a long, long time. I mean, even as long as when Brock Lesnar had Shelton Benjamin as his tag team partner in the early 2000s, and they were like called the American something or American wrestlers or
Team
some
Angle.
Team Angle, yeah, like it was like it's been a minute for these guys, and I think Chad has proven that time and time again. Look what he did at WrestleMania. Look what he's willing to do in
Oh
a
yeah.
regular match. I mean, hell, he has had even really great singles matches with Cody Rhodes. That Cody Rhodes match and him was
Oh yeah. That Cody match was pretty
fantastic.
fucking good.
Fantastic. I don't think
But
he's not should not be not in a contention for that type of match for sure. I think that Chad definitely deserves it at this stage of the game. He was a tag team champion and held it with pride. Now he could I mean honestly if it's not going to be the world heavyweight, then let him go and try to get Gunther. I think that
yes,
match itself would be fire to watch
that
those
would be
two
great too.
absolute animals in there. Like that's a technical
Yeah.
wrestler versus a ring general. Like seriously, besides Ilya and Dragunov, that's another match that has to be done by the time any of these men retire at least once, even if it's not for a tag team a title match. I just want to see these men wrestle. I think that's perfect. But no, Seth, LA Knight, and Chad Gable for sure. I think these men
Okay.
100% deserve it. Of course, then you could add in, Montez in there, Shinsuke in there, Karrion in there. I think eventually we could even have an Ilya
Bobby
Dragunov,
Lashley.
Bobby Lashley for sure, Drew for sure, Finn for sure. But again, like Drew's already had it. Finn's already had it. Seth's already had it. But I mean, Finn's run wasn't so long, but it was good. It was kind of cut short. Drew did hold down the pandemic. They didn't really give him a fair shake, so I definitely think he deserves another shot at it. I think he's definitely worthy of a championship type
Yeah,
of
Drew needs
reign,
to win a world championship in front of
a
fucking
crowd.
a crowd. That's where they failed at Clash of the Castle. I
Yeah,
really think that they should have gave Drew the belt right there.
for
But
sure.
I mean, yeah, definitely this world championship will definitely no matter who fucking wins, but I really do see it
I'm so excited for it.
being Seth. I mean, holy fuck. Like Sean says Seth Finn
Seth for sure.
Drew. Yeah, Drew's injured, so yeah, no, I mean Seth Finn, LA Knight, and if it's not LA Knight, Seth Finn, Bobby. Because I don't see Bobby
Yeah,
winning at Backlash. I honestly see Bronson winning at Backlash more than I see
I
Bobby.
do
Especially if
too.
Vince is running shit. Especially if
I
Vince is
do
running shit, I see it
too.
being Bronson Reed.
And you know what? Not for nothing. And I'm gonna go off of even the Brown Boss's thing with Chad being sent for the U.S. title. If Chad's not in that talk for the championship just yet, then Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable for the United States Championship, I think would be perfect for. I'm serious. I think it would be for
No, I think that'd be actually
Chad's
pretty shit. Oh,
career.
don't
But
fucking say
but
Omos. Put
but
Omos away from the
Almost
world
get
belt
the
right
hell out of
fucking
here.
now.
Get the
Right
hell out of
fucking
here, Brown. I
now.
don't agree with you no more. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. No,
Fuck.
I think Chad versus Bronson Reed to finally give Chad that again momentum to start getting closer and closer to the belts that matter the most of world heavyweight or even undisputed or universal undisputed, whatever the fuck we're gonna call it at that point. Match, if especially if Cody does win, I think Chad would be one of those people that I would love to see. Yeah, but listen, if Omos is the first one for the fucking title, I swear to God. You know what? Also, someone
Omos
said
will
I
have
saw
another reign
today.
of terror.
So, bro, you
What?
know what I saw today? You know what I saw today? I saw someone say that. What are you talking about? It's going to be Roman's belt the moment on May 27th. Roman's just going to come out and beat the person that won the belt, like if it was a
That'll be
Money in the
so
Bank thing, and then just
stupid.
take the belt and it'll be three belts on Roman. And I'm like, no, no, no,
I
no,
saw like a watch along reaction where they unveil the World Heavyweight Championship, and it's like, give it a Roman, give it a Roman. And I'm like, whoa, if I could just punch you in from the screen and be like, hey, did you listen to a
Yeah,
fucking thing Triple H said? But
yeah, really. Has anybody been
another
paying
thing,
attention here?
an, another funny thing I saw was like these people are quick. Someone photoshopped Omos on the bump with the World Heavyweight title in his hand, being like, "Night of Champions, get ready."
The Homo
It's Omos
sapiens
on the
are
fucking bump.
literally losing
I
it
need
right
to
now.
find that picture. I'm gonna make it my
Please.
profile picture. I swear to fucking God. You will have to understand Vince will book Omos on every pay per view. Yeah, and that's my point.
Yeah,
I think I said it on Twitter. It's like Triple H allows Vince to have Omos fight at a pay per view and pick whoever the fuck Omos's next victim is. But I mean,
yeah, but he lost
uh,
to Brock,
yeah, they
and
lost
if
to
he
Brock, but
loses
Brock
to
is a Vince
Seth,
guy.
yeah,
Brock's a Vince guy.
But if Seth beats Omos at Backlash, how many more times is Omos got to lose? Like at this
I don't
stage,
know.
not for nothing. I'm
Vince
gonna be on the
Vince
Homo
is still
sapien
happy. He'll
side
still
for a
see
second.
Omos.
Yeah, but like I'm gonna be on the Homo sapien side for a quick second here. Yeah, listen, if my boy Omos keeps on losing and keeps on taking L's, what the fuck is the point of him being on TV anymore? You know what I mean?
No, I
Go
if
put him with
imagine if
Titus O'Neil
Omos
or something.
beats Seth. I mean, like fucking if Seth loses to Omos, then that means this conversation of Seth being the world champion is over. Let's be real here. I mean, fuck, people would eat him alive. Oh yeah, Omos lost to Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar. I forgot about that match with Braun at Crown Jewel because they made Braun Ricochet's bitch. But I mean, yeah, that's true too. Like I don't know, but before we get too much into this World Heavyweight title talk, we'll probably talk about it after we're done reviewing the show. Bianca Belair was challenged by Damage Control. It's like, hey, pick two random fucking partners to face us in a 6-man or 6-woman tag. And of course, you got to have Liv and Raquel. Uh, 6-woman
My
tag.
girl,
I
those are
mean,
my women right there. Those are my
I
ladies.
know.
How do you disrespect my girls like that? Come
Listen,
on,
this was my bathroom break. I didn't give a flying fuck.
no. Only when Trish comes on, that's my bathroom break.
Only when Trish comes
That's what I
on.
could.
Yeah, we were supposed to get a Trish like in ring segment.
Uh,
We only got like a backstage segment on the show.
I
Uh,
held it in. I held it in. I held it in.
at least it only lasted 2 minutes. That
Yeah, no, I held
Trish
it in. I have more stamina
segment.
than that. Thank God. 3 minutes
But
would have been
yeah,
pushing
this.
it.
Oh yeah, that's this 6-woman tag. I mean, Bianca and Io Sky are official for Backlash. I wish I would have known
Yeah,
that when I did my fucking 2K simulation. But I mean, meh. Bailey took the pin in this match against
of
Bianca.
course she
My
did.
poor girl
Got to make
Bailey.
EO look
My
good.
poor, my poor girl Bailey. Could have given Dakota the pin. I mean, what
Do
the
you
fuck's
like
Dakota
women?
doing? Do you
Yeah,
like
that's
women?
that. Did you see our? Yeah, it was Sam that said that shit. When we were doing when we were doing the we were trying to hype up the Trish Stratus, Lita, Becky Lynch tag team against Damage Control, and I had to say nice things. The Kid Evan and Sam, we all had to hype up one match that we thought was absolutely weak, and I unfortunately chose the short straw. My favorite match of the night, I guess you could call it, the 6-woman tag match with the legends, the fossils versus the young guns over there. I had to hype it up, which is I was doing a terrible job. But my boy Sam came in clutch and started off the promo with "Do you like women?" And the rest is history. I love it. I love it. I love seeing people still talk about it to this day. We're making a
That's
T-shirt out of
funny.
it. We have to because that shit
He
is
always
just
says it
that
on
shit's
watch
too
alongs.
funny.
I love it. Oh, if he
Yeah, no,
always
we
says it
say
on
it now.
watch alongs, and that means on the draft watch alongs, I'm gonna be like, oh fuck, another women's tag, and he's gonna be like, do you like women? And it's like, but fuck, girls, I want to see men. But I mean,
Big
I mean
beefy
this.
man, give it to me.
Oh, big meaty men slapping meat. But this match, I don't have much thought about it because it's like, okay, you got Io and Bianca,
Right.
like Sean says, it's gonna be a banger. I'm really looking forward to it, but it's like, I don't know, these matches, it's just like filler, 3-hour show. I mean, I don't really give too much of a fuck about it.
No, I agree. I don't really got much to say either. I think Io and Bianca, like the triple threat with Theory,
U.S.
Lashley,
title.
and Reed are going to be definitely a banger. Two of my honestly my really underrated match of the night. I think is going to be the triple threat for the United States Championship. I think that one is going to be probably one of the most exciting matches of the night. But I do think that Io and Bianca are going to put on one hell of a show, and I think that we I'm not even going to say it. You know what? We're going to see where Bianca retain. I'll be happy if I'm wrong and it's Io Sky that
If
wins. But if it's Bianca retaining, we knew it. So it
Hey,
is
I
what
don't
it
know.
is.
I mean, Trish is talking about that title run
Yeah,
though.
don't that shit. Don't give me none of that shit,
Trish
Trish
is
Stratus.
Trish is
Don't
talking
give me
about
none of
that
that
title
shit,
reign
Trish Stratus.
though.
No, don't give me none of that shit. Don't give me none of that shit,
Fucking
Trish.
SummerSlam though.
Yeah, SummerSlam's gonna
Or
be
Night of Champions though.
Her and Lita
I
with
mean,
Vince McMahon all signing contracts to never come back in the squared ring ever
Trish
again.
versus
Official
Becky versus
retirement.
Lita Raw Women's Championship triple threat. Watch that
Oh, please
happen.
don't do it to me.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
no.
Someone will have to
But
get me a shirt.
after this, we had Mr. A Town Down Austin Theory come out, um, and saying the shit. I mean, it's like, hey, I beat John Cena. People are still mad about that. I'm gonna beat the two meaty men, um, Bobby and Bronson. Then Bobby comes out. I completely forgot how this brawl went. I do know Bronson stood tall at the end,
Yeah, so
and he
Theory
held that
came out.
U.S. title.
Yeah, Theory came out first, talking some wild shit about how he wants to be the next world heavyweight champion. Then
Oh
Bobby Lashley
yes.
came out. He circled the ring, looked at the belt real quick, and was like, "That bitch is gonna be mine. Don't worry." And then came in the ring.
Before I
Him and Theory,
retire.
yeah, before I retire, it's gonna be mine. But no, yeah. So then Bobby came in. They were all talking their shit, and then Austin went to try to punch Bobby. Bobby started laying into him, and then of course, out of nowhere, the Big Mac, the big man himself, Bronson Reed, just got out of
Big
the
boy.
catering hall. Now hungry for some big meaty men. Now back in the ring,
Ouch.
squaring up with the Arby's guys, and that was it. That was pretty much the night. They
Bronson
decided to
looks
all
sick with
squat.
that U.S. title, though. I was like, I would not be mad if this happens at Backlash if Bronson Reed wins that belt.
She is my
I
sugar
think that would
mama.
actually
She
be.
is my wife. She is my love of my life. I love her more than my mom. Jesus. Well, I don't know about all that. I don't know
Hey.
about the last part, but hey, man, I
Mm,
get the love for Trish, but at the same time, I love my mama more.
I love my mama
That's just
too.
me. Yeah, I love my mama very much. Yeah, wait a second. I don't know. I don't know if I would love someone that much more. Yeah, wow, Sean.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gotta say, man.
especially someone I never met a day in my life and never will meet a day in my life. Like, fuck, man. But
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
bro. I
Um,
gotta just say, man, our chat is fucking wild. I love our chat. When we do these
I
things,
love our
I
chat
just look.
too.
I can't. I just can't stop not looking at the fucking chat. It's too much. These guys are wild.
Oh my god. Yeah, no,
But
it's
Trish
fucking
needs to
great.
retire. Anyway, yeah, back to the back to the Arby's commercial. Yeah, so these guys definitely are going to be putting on one hell of a show on at Backlash for sure, for sure. I think that this is definitely going to be, one match that's going to be very underrated. I think that this is going to be maybe Bronson Reed's time, like you were saying. I could see Reed pulling out a crazy victory out of this
Yeah.
match here and becoming the United States champion, which honestly is cool because now Bobby has something to work off. Austin now could kind of fade into the black for a little bit, kind of do his own thing, maybe even try to go against whoever for this world
World
heavyweight
heavyweight.
championship match.
Yeah.
I don't see him going very far in the tournament, to be very frank. It's not that I don't think
First or
he's
second
talented
round, he's
enough.
gone. First or
Yeah,
second round, he's gone.
I'll give him to third. I'll be very kind. I'll give him to the
Yeah,
third round, but
finals,
either
I could see
Shinsuke,
them doing that.
yeah, like Shinsuke kicks him so hard
R-
he knocks his fucking brick off, and that was it. You
Rollins
know?
or Lashley will kick his fucking ass.
Yeah, but
Definitely.
I definitely see Bobby and Reed going at it for a little bit, which honestly I would rather have seen that match than the triple threat.
Big
Like
meaty men
even when
slapping meat.
Austin, yeah, like Austin even said it himself. He was like, don't even know how the hell this match happened. He was just like, all of a sudden, I
Because
woke up
Vince.
one morning and that was it. I'm now in a triple threat match, and I don't know what else to say here. And
These guys have their own problems. Why the fuck am I
yeah,
in here?
what?
It's
Yeah,
like
how am
that
I
50
getting?
Cent meme. It's like that
Yeah,
50 Cent meme. It was like, what do you say fuck me for?
yeah. What did he say? Fuck me. He fucked your baby mama, and the other guy fucked your baby mama too. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I don't know what happened. I think he woke up that morning and definitely watched that shit. But yeah, because it's true. It's like the Seth and Omos thing. It's like when
Where the
how the
fuck we
fuck did
getting
that
this?
happen? How did that happen? Like, who woke up on a Friday morning was like, you know what, everybody's gonna love, guys? Seth and Omos. Really? No, no one is. But we're gonna show them that they want it. That they want it. Nobody
Yeah,
fucking
no.
wants this. All right, guys.
Tune into
Nobody wants
being
this.
like,
You
sir,
hear
you're
me?
gonna tune
Do
into
you hear
Twitter a
me,
day
people?
later.
You hear me? Do you hear me, WWE creative? Nobody fucking wants that. Nobody wants Seth and Omos. Nobody wants this triple threat match.
uh,
But now you got me invested. Now you got me invested. So now I'm in
yeah, no one
for it.
wanted that triple threat match, and now it's like my gonna be my prediction for match of the fucking night.
Yeah, really. Because like, who gives a fuck about Brock and Cody? I'll be honest.
Who gives
I
a fuck about
I
the
think
six
probably the
man
most
tag with
the the
Sammy, Kevin,
least
and Riddle and
exciting match
Bloodline?
of the night is going to be them.
I don't give a fuck about this six man
Yeah,
tag, but yeah. Then
yeah.
we
That
have
6-man
this
tag was
filler match.
trash.
Then we have this filler match: Mustafa Ali and Chad Gable. Mustafa
Mhm.
Ali got the quick 2-minute victory. Not much to really be said here. Besides Maxine Dupree and Otis. Great. That's it. Um,
Thank you. Have a great day.
yeah, thank you. Have a great day. You could get your check at the door.
Yep.
Then we get something Cody Rhodes versus Finn Balor number 2. Um, I mean,
Yay! Finn Balor and
yay.
Cody Rhodes, number 2. No one gives a fuck. I'm
Cody gets
sorry.
the Cody and Finn.
This
Obviously,
is
they
when I have
look
to
at
put on
the
the
world
King's scarf.
belt.
This is when I'm gonna have to put on the true King scarf, the true
They
tribal
look at the
chief of the
belt,
WWE.
and it's like, okay. I
Look,
mean, I like that they're building up all these people looking at this belt, being like, "Yo, that's actually pretty sick." But it's like
mid,
we know Cody's winning, but it's
mid.
like, why does everybody have to fucking look at the belt like it's the new girl in class and she's like the hottest chick you've ever seen? It's like, oh, would you look at that?
Oh, would you look at that over there? No, it's mid. It's mid, just like my scarf reads from the King. It's mid. Mid. And it sucks because Finn's very talented, Cody's very talented. I'm very excited for both these guys.
Yeah.
Both of them done great, but at the same time, it just doesn't make sense. I get it, and I know we've said this already with like Elimination Chamber. I know we've said it already with the WrestleMania thing leading into the big pay-per-view. These last 2 weeks are always the meh type of promos, fillers, matches that don't really make sense. This is just to buy time going into, of course, the big pay-per-view. But for
Yeah.
something like Backlash that's not as big as a Money in the Bank, that's not as big, of course, as like a SummerSlam, Cash at the Castle, Survivor Series, Mania, of course, being the biggest one of them all. Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, so on and so forth. This is where we need to start tapering down on our choices, and we need to start really making these 3 hours, these 2 hours matter more. I feel like they kind of hit it perfectly with WrestleMania a little bit better than they are with Backlash. Leading into Elimination Chamber, I feel like that last week or the week of, I should say, leading into the Elimination Chamber that Saturday was more exciting than what we're getting now because we were still
Yeah.
utilizing the guys that were making the headlines for um, the big main event matches, Roman and Sammy, and of course the women for the Elimination Chamber, the men for the Elimination Chamber, all of that. But now we got these matches that, not for nothing, and Sam said this. I think it is so true. It is not backlash. It is backblast because we feel like we've been bent over and just getting back shots right now by the way that this card is starting to feel. So,
You know,
you know,
Backlash, especially
yeah,
now that this world title's going on, it feels like afterthought, the pay-per-view. I mean, yeah, like look at Brown Boss said he's 30% excited because Vince is going to be
yeah,
behind the headset. Sean just recently agreed with them. I'm
yeah,
around like 40%, and that's mainly
yeah,
because of the US title match alone, really. I
yeah.
mean, like
And that's
that's
sad.
really the only thing. That's
That's
sad that
sad.
the US title match that
Yeah.
got booked last fucking minute out of Vince's ass, and
Creative
a Vince
mind.
booking match. A Vince booking
Yeah.
match got me the most excited than Triple H being like, "The story never ends." Brock
Don't
Lesnar
don't
and Cody
don't say that too
Rhodes.
loud because then he's going to start getting us to have to sign a petition for him to come back as full creative. So don't say that. Don't
Oh
say
yeah,
that too
don't say
loud.
that too out
But
loud.
unfortunately,
Hey Vince,
it's
Vince,
so
I like
true.
that you made big meaty men slap me. Thank you.
Same. But anyway, yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I think that this is definitely the most exciting match of the night. And what's also really crazy to me is that this coming Friday, we're getting the tag team championship match against the Usos and
Sammy and Kevin.
Sammy and Kevin, and it's not at Backlash.
That's what I think is stupid at all. You could have had this tag title match having a Backlash, Riddle and Solo one-on-one on Backlash instead of these 5,000 times that we see them one-on-one on SmackDown and Raw. That's what I
Yeah,
think is stupid of all, because it's like those are two big matches that you could have had for the show right now. You could have had
yeah,
Usos and Sammy and Kevin main event Backlash. I mean, it's called Backlash for a fucking reason. Why are we getting it on free TV? The big WrestleMania main event rematch. It's like,
makes no sense.
what's the point of this six-man tag? Because imagine if you're one of those people that don't subscribe to the network, and imagine if you got to pay 50, $60 to buy this pay-per-view. Uh,
Yep.
God rest your soul if you fucking do
God
that.
rest your soul.
What will make you be like, yeah, I wanna get rid of my like half of my minimum wage paycheck to fucking buy this show?
Yeah, only to be bent
Nothing.
over for 3 hours.
Like, no, fuck
You
that.
know, yeah. So it's something that I don't understand either. Like, are we going to get Shinsuke and Karrion Cross? Are we going to get the Becky and um, you know, Trish Stratus? Are we getting the LWO Judgment Day? Like, none of those have been confirmed yet. And
None
if
of those
any
are
of those are
happening.
confirmed, okay, so then perfect. So then all of those semi decent stories are not even happening. Great. So that just adds
Gonna
zero
get pushed
excitement to,
aside to Saudi.
yeah, no, garbage. So
Like,
then
no.
we get trash six-man tag with Riddle, Sammy, and Kevin versus the Bloodline, which honestly, it should have just been the rematch of WrestleMania. That's
Yeah,
that. Forget
shouldn't
Riddle,
have had it
forget
on
Solo.
SmackDown.
Yeah, like don't be having this shit on SmackDown. This is a very dumb statement. Bianca and Io, I'm kind of excited for. I kind of want to see a little bit
It's
more
kinda
build
meh.
to this. Yeah, it's a little bit of a mid show as well for that. But
Bad
again, I
Bunny and
like to
Damian
see.
Priest, I don't really
Oh yeah,
give too
that
much
that
of a
I keep
shit.
trying to forget. I keep trying to forget that bullshit. Like
But we
that's
still have a few
just.
segments of this show to get through before we talk about Backlash.
Ugh.
First, next is Vince's wet dream. Seth Rollins crossing paths with Omos, and Seth is looking at this belt like the hot chick in your class,
Mm,
and is like, "Hey, one day, man, I'm gonna have
one
it.
day,
One
one day.
day." And Roman thinks he's good. He's not. And I'm like, why the fuck are we getting all this Roman banter for on this show? Um, but then Omos comes out and being like, "Hey, you don't need to worry about that fucking belt right there, buddy. Gotta worry about the Nigerian giant,
Yeah,
Omos." And it's
yeah.
like,
Give me a
I
break.
don't like
Uh, give me
this
a break.
almost put me to sleep, not gonna lie, this promo, because I genuinely did not care. They're trying to build a story on this. Like Hunter's trying to build a story on this, and I appreciate him for that. But
Yeah.
it's like these are two. This is like the most random rivalry I have ever seen in my entire time as a wrestling fan. And I know some people that have probably been watching since the 80s and 90s could be like, well, technically this job or Billy Gunn and The Rock. Billy Gunn won King of the Ring and he faced The Rock. That's pretty random. And it's like, I'd rather see Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass versus The Rock than Seth
Same.
Rollins versus Omos. Let's be
Yes.
fucking real here.
Yes, please.
But
Please.
yeah,
Please give
no,
me
I
that
have
match
nothing to
again.
say. I have
Yeah,
nothing to say about this fucking
I,
promo,
I don't either.
really.
It kind of put me to sleep too, in a sense. What finished me off was the Ray and Damien one. I think that was my kiss goodnight from my mommy
When I
to put me to
realized this was
bed.
the main event, I was like, "Oh fuck sake." I mean, Finn and Damien, I mean, again, I wasn't really paying attention to this because fully fuck, I've seen Ray face every member of the Judgment Day for about a year.
Yeah,
Besides
it's
Dom,
sad.
really. I mean,
Besides his own son, unless it was
yeah,
2K20,
besides his own son, we
2K13.
only had it once. So I mean, the finish, Priest went to grab a chair. Um, then Ray hits a 619,
Oh
and
joy.
then Priest threw a chair at Mysterio, which makes it a DQ. I don't even remember even Dom being in this.
No, Dom
Like,
wasn't.
yeah, Dom wasn't. So it's like the whole reason why Finn's fight, like why Ray's fighting the Judgment Day, nothing in this show. Just
No,
hey,
it's Bad Bunny. It's Bad
yeah, and then
Bunny. It's the
Bad Bunny
whole
fucking comes out.
show was about Bad Bunny.
This
Come
whole
on.
show is about Bad Bunny. Like
How
we
did
were
we
supposed
not
to have
miss
Bad
that?
Bunny in a promo or something. No, Bad Bunny returns. He has this kendo stick, and then he's like, "Hey, guess what? I'm not gonna fucking perform anymore. I'm not gonna host this piece of shit. I'm gonna face you in
Bad Bunny
a
makes hand over fist in fucking millions of dollars with music. He don't need no
street fight.
goddamn WWE fucking paycheck. Give me a
He doesn't
break.
need a paycheck. He won a Grammy for Best Artist. I watched the
Yeah,
Grammys, and
seriously.
I
Yeah,
watched the
like give me a
Grammys. He won
break here.
Best Artist. I won Best Artist, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Bad Bunny does not need to be in WWE because he's probably one of the most richest music artists in the world. I mean, you know how much population fucking wherever he's from, Puerto Rico and fucking Spain is? Jesus
Yep.
Christ, they're huge.
Yeah.
I mean, um but I really thought I knew Bad Bunny was going to be wrestling on this show. I thought it was going to be Ray teaming with Bad Bunny to take on Dom and Damien. Nope.
That's even worse.
Yeah, now it's
That's
just
even worse.
Priest and Bad Bunny one on one, and it's like,
In a street fight.
yay, street fight.
But you know what? Speaking of Ray, real quick, I don't know if you caught this. I know we're at the end of the show, so I mean it does kind of tie into to this though. Um, Chavo Guerrero put
Oh,
out a statement
fuck that
yesterday.
guy.
Yeah, I also agree with that. Chavo Guerrero put out a statement yesterday, if no one heard or saw,
Yes,
and said that
I responded.
Ray has been prostituting, in his words, not mine, not my words, gentlemen, his
We know
words,
he fucking
prostituting Eddie Guerrero, the Guerrero name and legacy, because nobody remembers Rey Mysterio Sr. And he's sorry that no one remembers Rey Mysterio Sr., but now he is doing a disservice to the Guerrero name legacy.
it's
I
so
have to
fucking
say this now. Chavo
stupid.
Guerrero has done ugats, okay? Scheiße, if anybody knows what I'm saying in German,
I
okay?
remember. Let me say this real quick. I
Sure.
remember the only Chavo Guerrero match I've ever seen was when the One Shot Killer asked me to review WrestleMania 24 with them.
Yeah,
You know
you
what
go.
Chavo did at WrestleMania 24? He
What?
lost the ECW title to Kane in like 10 seconds.
Right.
He
So
got fucking
back,
squashed.
yeah, his legacy that he did with his name as a Guerrero was Shiza. What Ray has done for the Guerrero legacy is absolutely kept it alive. I mean, he has mentioned him throughout his career, which we all need to continuously do because Eddie has given 100% the greatest legacy of not only being a luchador wrestler, and a Spanish wrestler to the American public for the WWE, but
Yeah.
being that gateway into professional wrestling on a TV platform for many generations to see. Majority of the superstars, let's just put this in layman's terms real quick. The majority of the people that joined SmackDown as a brand joined because of what Eddie brought to the SmackDown brand.
And
If
let's
you
not
go
lie
back,
about this here. Eddie was like a pioneer. Like, remember back in the day, way back in the day, people in wrestling, you had to be like fucking steroid, like 6 foot, 7 foot, 200 and
right?
fucking 90 pound. That will be the only way you'll ever be at the top of the card. If you're any smaller than that, you're a jobber, low mid carder.
Yep.
Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, all those motherfuckers.
Dean
They
Malenko,
Dean
fucking Rey
Malenko, and there's one
Mysterio,
guy. There's one other guy, Rey Mysterio, Dean Malenko, Eddie, Chris. I think there was one more guy in the Radicals,
Perry
but
Saturn,
Perry Saturn. That was thank you. Those guys really
paved.
paved the way for guys like Ricochet, for
Yep.
guys like fucking Adam Cole, for guys
Yep.
like fucking Jungle Boy, for
Yep.
guys like fucking Darby Allin.
Yep.
Small wrestlers to be in that main event spot, especially guys like Darby Allin, who's and Sammy Guevara. Let's fucking say Sammy Guevara. Man's gonna fucking fight for the AEW belt. I mean, like, Jesus Christ. I
Yeah.
mean, like, it's
Yeah.
like,
Ray and even to Wolf's point, Rey Mysterio Jr.'s legacy has overseeded his father's, but his father helped Ray get to where he is, and Guerrero and Ray helped to get to where we're at now currently. We
yeah,
wouldn't
you could be
have
like
Sin Cara or Commander or any other luchador style
Vikingo or whatever his name is.
Vikingo.
Like,
We wouldn't have
yeah,
any other luchador style wrestler in professional wrestling on a TV aspect if it wasn't for these men. So, not for nothing, Chavo. The only legacy you have held for the Guerrero name was holding the tag team championship with Eddie Guerrero,
with him,
mind you,
with
because you
fucking
couldn't do
Eddie
it by
Guerrero.
yourself, mind you. Then you held the cruiserweight, which, all right, we'll give you that. You did a good job. I ain't gonna lie. I liked you
And
as the
then he held
cruiserweight
the
champion.
WWE CW belt, which meant fucking jack.
And then you lost it to Kane in 10 seconds. So
Yes.
let us just be frank here. Let's just be frank here. Buddy, you have done, oh God, Shiza, to nothing of the Guerrero name. You have literally, I'm not going to say you heard it because you didn't hurt it, but by stating that, just like unfortunately Eddie Guerrero's ex-wife Vicky with her statements about her daughter and
Vicky.
everything,
Fucking
have done
stupid.
more of a negative connotation to the Guerrero legacy name than anything Ray has done. Ray has brought back the LWO, giving Hispanic wrestlers and Hispanic people who are
And let's not lie,
kind of getting
like,
interested.
we forgot to talk about this. The LWO had a new entrance theme, and they had Viva La Raza in the beginning of it. Fuck.
Yep. Yeah. But like Ray has brought back the legacy of Eddie Guerrero by bringing back LWO, by having the Viva La Raza and the whole entire the lowrider and everything at WrestleMania with Snoop Dogg and shit like that. Like he has brought Eddie's
Using part of his
legacy
theme for it.
to
Yeah.
yeah another point in Eddie's career that Eddie deserves to be, and he needs to keep on racing to the highest mountaintop of professional wrestling history. And I'll never say nothing bad about Eddie because he's my number one wrestler for all. He is the reason why I continuously watch WWE and WWF. He's the reason why I wear a majority of Eddie Guerrero's shit. And when I talk
Yeah.
like that, he's the reason why I got into the luchador style wrestling. Why
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
Wolf,
give a shit about how Spanish people wrestled more or less than other American and cultural other talented superstars. He's the only one that I give a fuck about if they actually did anything with them. I mean, for Christ's sake, his lie, cheat, and steal moments itself are compilation videos that still hold up to this day. People still today even fucking do his shit now. So you
do the
telling
chair
me,
shot and then gives it to
yeah,
his opponent.
dude, like he has his Eddie's legacy has surpassed him even. And Ray is just continuously making sure we, as well as the next generation of superstars, as well as the next generation of fans, remember where it
Remember
came
him.
from. So, Chavo, unfortunately, you're wrong. And, you have disgraced the Guerrero name, you and his ex-wife, unfortunately. So, buddy, you both need to go see somebody. All right, and Ray, keep doing what you're doing because we want more. We want more. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say about it.
I'm gonna say this as a final point before we end this show because it's almost NXT spring break and but I mean,
Oh yeah,
yeah, like Wolf said, like immediately after I like gave my thoughts on it, Chavo was like, this is how you rile fans up like a heel does, like pretty much saying that what he said about Ray was a work and like only real Guerreros can bring the heat, the Latino heat. And I was like, fuck you, buddy. Because remember in one of the replies, I think I think someone made a point about Vicky
yeah.
and her daughter and the fucking lawsuit
Rape
that's going on.
allegations. Yeah,
And then Chavo responded saying if Ray gave a fuck about Eddie so much, he could have sent money to Eddie's daughter to pay for lawyers for this fucking lawsuit. And I'm like, okay, even if this is a fucking work, this is what draws the line. That was what I said in my fucking tweet. It's like, okay, this could be a work, but it's like, don't fucking say that shit because do you really think Eddie's daughter would be in on that? Even if Ray is, even if Vicky is, like, you think Eddie's daughter who's going through all this fucking bullshit with her mom is gonna care about that?
it's
That's why I was
nauseating.
like, okay, if this is a work, I've lost all fucking respect for Chavo Guerrero. I forgot he
I
fucking
do too.
existed until we had that rampage last night.
Yeah.
I forgot he even fucking existed until that.
Oh no, I
I mean,
remember him.
fuck.
I remember Los Guerreros. I do. I
Los
remember the
Guerreros.
vignette. I remember the vignettes. I remember the promos. I am a Eddie Guerrero stan, like an MJF stan. I only follow. I literally deep dive into only certain amount of wrestlers in my life, and Eddie will always be the number one for me as well. But yeah, I know NXT Spring Break is happening. Most of our fans are leaving at the moment, but yeah, no.
Yeah, most of our fans want to see
Otherwise,
it.
we're always cool. Um, 3 out of 5. I'd say I'd give it a
3 out
four.
of 5?
Yeah, the matches and stuff were okay. It wasn't. I guess the belt brings it to a 4 if you wanna be kind, but
I think
I
that's
don't
why a
know.
lot of people will probably give it a decent rating. I'll give it a 3.5, and most of
Okay.
that is because of the belt. I would say the matches, I mean, there was filler almost throughout, like the Street Profits and, oh, I completely forget, Cedric and Shelton.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
the Mustafa match
fucking
with Chad.
Mustafa and Chad, Rey Mysterio versus insert member of Judgment Day here, which I'll always shit on until this draft fucking happens. Um, yeah, 3.5 is a good enough rating for me. I mean, not the best, but
If Priest,
definitely not the
Wolf,
worst.
if Priest and Bad Bunny main event Backlash, I'm gonna come through the computer when we're doing the review and beat you up. If I couldn't get Rhea and Charlotte to main event my WrestleMania night 1, but we give
Okay,
it to
Wolf, get
Priest,
ready to get beat up because this
if
this whole
Priest
this whole
and Bunny,
this whole show
no,
revolves
no,
around Bad Bunny. Like Bad Bunny will
no, no,
happen.
no.
Any announcements? Oh, what, like us? Well,
Yeah,
obviously,
well,
we're gonna do the watch alongs for
oh yeah,
the draft
very excited to be doing that.
Friday,
And then yeah,
Friday,
so
Monday.
Friday, yeah, Friday, Monday, Friday, and then reviews and stuff like that is all normal. Saturday, we're gonna be next Saturday is gonna be the Backlash watch along. It starts at 8, so
Yeah,
probably I'll probably start about 7. I think I'll if you guys follow me on Twitter, I kind of will tell you throughout the time and stuff like that. But I guess
yeah,
the biggest news for me, at least, is I'm gonna be making a Discord. I'm gonna be making a Discord channel for all of us fans, as well as for like me, Willie, and like other people that work together to communicate, make it easier and stuff. Because next Sunday, well, no, sorry, this Sunday. Wow, I'm already thinking it's still last weekend. So this Sunday coming up for my podcast. I know I don't like talking about myself really on here, but um, you know, uh, it's going to be a big podcast review for the Backlash prediction. So, Willie, I know you said you couldn't make it because you're done at 2, but if you want to come in about 2 o'clock ish, go right ahead. I'm gonna still
If I
send you the link
can,
for
I
the.
will. If
Yeah,
not,
if
then
not, just be in the
you and
chat.
I could probably do one like sometime next week
I'm
on
down.
here.
I'm down.
Um,
Absolutely.
who should I follow? I am new. My Twitter is WillYMYT. You'll probably find it in the little tick mark below the screen. Dylan's is LWIW podcast on Twitter, and
Yep.
his YouTube channel is Last Week in Wrestling.
Yep.
Also
But yeah,
follow
no.
Will
So
Ferris, who is in the chat, and follow the Pro Wrestle News on Twitter
yeah.
and
So yeah, no,
Patreon.
we're doing a big podcast. A bunch of podcasters are getting together this Sunday to do a Backlash review. So that's definitely happening. We'll be talking more about that as the week goes on, and I kind of
And also the
confirmed
mock draft.
everybody.
Mock draft
Oh
sometime
yes,
this
mock
week.
draft. Yeah,
Mock draft
I'm available whenever. So you just got to let me know.
tomorrow. Let's say tomorrow. Let's do it.
Damn, you didn't give me any fucking time to fucking prepare. Alrighty, no problem. I can.
Are you good for
Are we
that
getting a
tomorrow
list?
or fucking Thursday? Tomorrow or Thursday?
Well, Thursday's
Anytime.
our review for AEW.
Oh yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow's the best time.
Okay,
Tomorrow's the best
so
shot we have.
yeah. How are we doing that? Well, we'll talk about it after
I'm.
this. We'll talk about
We'll
it
talk
after
about
this.
it after. I'll
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
shoot me a thing in the DMs. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I'll
Give
DM
me,
you, and
yeah,
then I'll
perfect.
update the fans on Twitter when we got it all worked
We do
out.
work at
But ladies and
Pro
gentlemen,
Wrestling News. Yes,
yes, we do work on Pro Wrestling News. If you want me to join in, I'll have to do it at night. Well, that's good because I work
that's
in the
when we do
morning
it
anyway,
normally.
Wolf. Yeah,
Yep.
it's normally when we do these videos. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, this
Yeah.
has been the Monday Night Raw review. I gave it 3.5. You gave it a 4.
Three,
Um,
three,
oh, you gave it a
three, three,
3, 3, 3, 3.
three, three,
Okay.
three.
But ladies and gentlemen, leave your thoughts in the comments, whether you're watching live or you're watching on the replay. Be sure to follow both of us on Twitter and YouTube as well. This is Willie Does Wrestling. Follow him and Sam and James is That Away Show on the
Yes,
Last Week in Wrestling YouTube channel.
yes.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot more content coming. Of course, mock draft tomorrow, AW review
Thursday,
Thursday, and then
Friday live watch
Friday
along.
Friday draft watch along. Then the
Saturday
review
nothing.
will either Saturday nothing because Friday will also be our review immediately after the show, which will be
Perfect.
a little shorter because
Yeah,
we'd be watching the whole show anyway. And then we the whole weekend we pretty much are free. Well, besides
yeah.
you with your big show. And then
Big show, guys, big show.
Monday is draft watch along, and then other than that, I mean, I guess backlash predictions for my channel, and then that's really it. We'll update you
Yeah, we'll update you as the weeks
soon.
go on.
But ladies and gentlemen, I know NXT Spring Breaking's going on right now. Most of you guys are either already left or are going to leave, and you want us to shut the fuck up. So, guys, this has been your boy Willie Does Wrestling. That has been Dylan from Last Week in Wrestling. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, turn post notifications on if you are new, or follow us on Twitter. And this has been us. See you next time. Be good.